My name is Jon1st. I'm a DJ and producer from Leicester in the UK.
I'm Alex. I go by the name Shield, and I'm from Copenhagen.
We actually met through a club night and record label that we're both associated with called 2020, which is Ivy Lab's record label. I'm working with them as a resident DJ at their club shows, and Alex was one of the first artists they signed to the label. Yeah. And we discovered we had this mutual interest in making live music, me as a turntablist and his background as a percussionist.
It was a good fit.
And we thought we should give this a try sometime, see what we come up with. Definitely our differences in styles, I feel, complement each other, and it works really well in terms of broadening the variety of music we would make.
For this particular track, it's called Holla, and we started actually on the Torres just with one sample, and eventually it became a whole arrangement and a track quite quickly.
Because we have background in being live performers, we really like the tangible side of equipment. So using a bit of hardware to start a tune feels really intuitive to us. So the first thing we did was we imported a vocal samples using the record-in function. We've got the step sequencer here, so we chucked that on there. So we grabbed some drums, we chucked them in the sequencer. Got a groove going.
The drive function is a great addition. It's a part of the Dave Smith filters. And what it does in this instance is it just beefs up the sound. And you can hear, if I exaggerate a little bit, it gives a nice distortion and some nice low ends, and we're just gonna keep it at 10 o'clock for now.
We decided to grab a bass sample. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pitch it up a bit, an octave, and then chuck it in the scale mode.
We added a bass melody with the AS1, and for this we just started out with the idea on the machine. And we fooled around with the cutoffs and some resonance, and then found this lower octave idea that gave us kind of a new hook to the beat. 3 and...
So while Alex is playing, I can adjust the filter and filter settings and create loads of different modulations to make the melody more varied and interesting. One of my favorite things about the AS1 is the software that it comes bundled with. You can see a map of your sound essentially, which you can manipulate in real time. You can also save your presets as you make them to your computer or to your synth, which means you can send it to someone else who has the same piece of equipment and they can load it in.
And for our project, it has helped massively that we are able to be in each country and export stuff for each other.
After we'd laid those out, we used some scratching, some additional breaks and things that we'd previously sampled, and embellished a bit using some software effects. So once we've built the song, we start thinking about how we're going to perform it live and what's going to be the most interesting and engaging way to do that for an audience. So we completely strip the track down again. We pick out key elements for each of us to perform, and then we program the SP16s to suit that.
We try to take that energy that is in one track and to stem it out and to show people visually and audibly what is actually happening in the track.
And make it more of a show, so even if you're not a musician,
exactly.
It's obvious, if you hear a sound, you can probably see it happening as well, and it's very understandable.
Yeah.
For this particular performance, we used the SP16 as the backbone. The backing track essentially is coming from there, and we're both playing to that, doing the scratching and stuff like that over the top of what's in here. But at the same time, I can use it for doing those one-shots. So it's playing this element in the background, but I have all these extra pads on it, so I don't need 2 units to do that job.
When I use the AS1, a really cool feature I use is you can actually play the melody on the actual machine or on an external keyboard. It gives you a lot more flexibility with different octaves and different melodies.
Holla.
Stuff like the synthesizer and the sampler felt really easy to use.
Yeah, it feels like everything is together. Like all the filters and the sound fits together.
Like we were saying earlier, I think the equipment feels really stable live. Like, you know, like when you're in the heat of the moment and excitement, like you want to hit stuff a little bit harder for dramatic effect and that. And like, equipment's robust, you know, like it's good.
We out. Peace.